If you had $1 million in dirty cash, how would you clean it without anyone noticing? You can't dump it into a bank, and you can't just buy a Ferrari in cash. Criminals have figured out ways to clean billions through cafes, shell companies, fake exports, even real estate. This is money laundering, the art of making dirty money look clean. And while the movies love showing stacks of cash and suitcases, the real tricks are far more boring and way more effective. In fact, these are happening all around you and you probably never even realized. Today we will break down how it works and the exact tricks criminals use to pull it off. So here's the core issue. Criminals make tons of money through drugs, fraud, corruption, but that money is useless if it can't be spent. If you walk into a bank with a bag of cash, it'll get flagged. So they need a way to move that money into the system without raising red flags. And that's where money laundering comes in. Money laundering usually follows 3 stages: placement, layering, and integration. This is the standard playbook, and most techniques are just creative ways to do these 3 steps without getting caught. The first step is placement, aka smurfing. Banks report large deposits, usually over $10,000. So instead of doing one big drop, you break it into small ones, $9,000 here, $8,000 there, and you spread it across different accounts, days, even people. These people are called smurfs. Not the blue cartoons, but people hired to quietly stuff cash into ATMs and bank counters without triggering alarms. It's boring, it's slow, but it works. Step 2, layering. Now the money is in the system, but it's still suspicious, so the next move is to make its trail impossible to follow. Wire it between accounts, send it overseas, convert it to crypto or foreign currency, create fake invoices, buy and sell assets back and forth. The goal is to create so much noise that no one can tell where the money came from anymore. Then step 3 is integration. This is the final step where the dirty money becomes clean. It's now reintroduced into the economy as if it's totally legitimate. You buy a flat, start a business, or claim it as gambling winnings. At this point it blends in. The money's clean and you can spend it however you want. Now that we've covered the structure, let's dive into some of the specific tactics criminals use to actually pull this off. The first one is cash-intensive businesses. Let's say your cafe earns $2,000 a day from selling food, but on paper you report $4,000. That extra $2,000? It's drug money that's been slipped into the till and deposited like it was earned. And no one bats an eye. A bakery having a good day doesn't trigger an audit, and unless someone physically checks your stock, receipts, or foot traffic, no one knows what's real and what's fake. And some of these places don't even try. You've seen them. Bad food, weird location, no customers, but somehow they stay open for years. That's because they're not selling food, they're cleaning cash. Option 2, trade-based laundering. This one's more subtle. No duffel bags, no nightclubs. Let's say you run a fake export business. On paper, you're shipping 10,000 handbags from Dubai to Singapore. In reality, the container might be empty or only hold 500 bags. But you still invoice for the full value, let's say $500,000. Now you can move that money across borders and it all looks legal. Customs rarely open every crate and the pricing is subjective. And this is the gray area that launderers love to operate in. And sometimes it's about the quality, not quantity. You say you're shipping premium electronics, but send cheap knockoffs. Or you under-invoice luxury goods to avoid tax and then sell them at full price. Either way, dirty money gets turned into export income. Next is the black market peso exchange. This is a trick used by Latin American cartels and it's genius. Let's say a cartel has millions in US cash from drug sales. They want to get that money into Colombia, but wiring it through banks is too risky. So they use a black market broker. That broker finds Colombian importers who need US dollars to buy goods from America. Those importers pay the broker's partner in Colombia in pesos. The cartel gets clean pesos right in their own country. Meanwhile, the broker uses the dirty dollars to buy real goods like electronics and exports them to Colombia. So they get paid again on that side in clean money. It's like a money swap, but no wire transfers, no names, and no trace. Next is real estate laundering. Real estate is perfect for cleaning large amounts of money. Buying a $3 million flat using a shell company, wait a bit, and then sell it, maybe even to yourself using a different shell company. Now the money just looks like profit or capital gains. You can rent out the property, flip it, or just hold it. And because ownership can be hidden in trusts or companies, no one knows who really owns what. That's why so many luxury flats in big cities sit empty. They're not homes, they're hiding places for black money. Next is shell companies. Shell companies are the Swiss Army knife of money laundering. They look real with a name, bank account, maybe even a website, but they do nothing. No staff, no office, no product. You create them in places with weak laws, like Panama or the British Virgin Islands, and you move money through them. Company A pays Company B for consulting, Company B pays Company C rent, and all of them are owned by you. And by the time anyone tries to trace the money, it's bounced through 10 jurisdictions and fake directors. Shell companies aren't illegal, but when they're used to hide identity, fake transactions, or cover up criminal profits, they're extremely effective. Next is bank complicity. Sometimes criminals don't sneak around banks, they just go through them. How this works is a criminal sets up an account and starts moving huge sums of money. Instead of flagging it, a bank manager waves it through. Maybe they're being bribed, maybe they've been told not to ask questions, maybe the client looks rich and important. Either way, the system fails. Some of the world's biggest laundering scandals involved banks doing exactly what they weren't supposed to. And here's the scary part of this all. Most of these tricks, they're not flashy, they're not even illegal on the surface. Owning shell companies, legal. Using cash in your cafe, legal. Sending money overseas, also legal. The magic and the danger is how these tools are combined, layered, and disguised. By the time the money hits a bank account, it looks completely clean, and that's the whole point. And money laundering isn't just a criminal act, it's a whole industry. It uses accountants, lawyers, shipping agents, real estate firms, even banks. And it's not about hiding stacks of cash under the mattress. It's about turning crime into profit and doing it in plain sight. The systems are there, the loopholes are known, and until they're closed, this problem isn't going anywhere. So, if you want more videos that explain how the world really works, hit subscribe.